Okay, we're live. Awesome. Cool. Crack open a cold one with the boys here. I still don't know how to get intro music on this. It looks like it's trying to get me to uh, do like a paid StreamYard thing to get intro music, which I don't think I have to do. I think there's ways around it, but I don't know. And I'm retarded with this kind of stuff, so who knows? Um, but we're gonna try and get intro music down the road. We're gonna try to. Maybe I'll have Liam show me how to do it. He does StreamYards. We are still accepting super chat streamlabs.com/the Beckloff. And we will be checking them periodically because they won't be popping up on screen. I really got to figure this shit out. Oh my gosh. Trying to get in the Christmas spirit here, chat, and I got to tell you, I'm not having a great fucking time with it. You know, I lost 2 internet friends here. One of my internet friends had a fucking meltdown. One of my in real life friends is having health problems, and I'm worried if how long he's gonna be around. Getting old, man. Getting old. We're all just slipping into the grave. Go to the mall today. I have almost no Christmas shopping I'm doing this year. I um I was out of work half the fucking year. My one buddy's going through a divorce. My group of friends, we've all just kind of said like, we're not going to worry about that this year. Um, but I still have some people like little cousin and shit. So I got to go get an Xbox gift card. I'm at the mall, and it's nice, the holiday decorations and all. But it's like I go into GameStop, and boy, is it GameStop fucking depressing right now because they're dying because we've choked physical media out of everything, especially video games. So like GameStop just has piles of shit everywhere. I don't know how else to describe this. Just like because it's not just Funko Pops, but figures, usually really overpriced, plushies, all that fucking stupid nerd shit. And I'm not even judging it because I have plenty of that shit myself. You know, it is cool. I do like shit like that, even if GameStop is way too fucking overpriced. But like, there's just piles of it everywhere. It's not even like on shelves. There's just heaps of it on the fucking floor. Like, you could just tell the company is circling the drain. Blue team, they are the most annoying cashiers. It's not even close. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get an Xbox gift card because my one little cousin games on Xbox. It's funny. I asked my aunt, I'm like, is he still on the Xbox? She's like, yeah, he's gonna be an Xbox lifer, I guess. I'm like, I doubt it. Because maybe the life of the Xbox. I don't think that has more than one, maybe 2 more generations tops. Uh, it says PS4 era stuff is valuable right now. I have over the past few months, past year, maybe 2, strongly considered selling my retro game collection. I have so many NES games, so many SNES games, Sega Genesis, even 32X games, um, PS2 games, Xbox 360, uh, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, DS, 3DS. And I don't game at all at this point. Like, I just don't do it at all now. Once in a while, in the past few months, I've maybe fired up Tears of the Kingdom again. Um, Chat says somehow Xbox has less games than PS5. Impressive that they have negative games. I have no interest in a Switch 2. Um, but it still looks like best of the all of them right now. I'm not spending $80 to have a Mario Kart game where you drive around. That's just you'd feel better if you gamed. I doubt it, man. I doubt it. It just doesn't. I don't know. Getting old. Since I feel old now, 360 games are going up in price. About 1 or 2 years ago, I started snatching up a bunch of PS2 and 360 games, tried to pad that collection out. Just because I knew I could see the writing on the wall. I mean, it's been obvious for years, but it was really like the train's coming fast. You know, the days of being able to buy a game are just about done. Yeah. We'll sell you an empty box with a game. We'll sell you Nintendo will sell you an empty fucking cartridge that has a code. Like, what a dystopian hellscape. So I knew what was coming there. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not for me. Like, that's I'm washing my hands of that. So I guess I'll get some PS2 and 360 games and have them, but I don't know, man. Only thing that keeps me from selling them, because it's probably a sizable chunk of money, and there's no point in hoarding stuff. Other people could enjoy it, but it's like, I wonder if like just a few years down the road, I'll get, the ADD hyper fixations will move back towards gaming and I want to play games again. And there's no way I'd be able to buy it back. So just as I'm surprised environmentalists aren't upset at Nintendo cards wasting plastic. Sick of subscriptions. Everything's a subscription now. You don't get to own fucking shit. It's 50-year mortgages and no physical media and 15-year car loans. Welcome to hell. The Zoomers. Hey, you can just pirate stuff. You know what? Good luck with that. Good fucking luck with that. The way the noose is tightening around the net. You think you're gonna get away with that for much longer? You can't even call people faggots on the internet anymore. It says it's all about games as services or digital now. Yeah, it's like right now the big thing I see everybody talking about. Oh my god, have you seen The Simpsons in Fortnite now? And I'm like, cool. The Simpsons has sucked for like 25 fucking years, but awesome. It was once the best show on television. I'll travel back to 1995 when I would have given a fuck about that news in my DeLorean and say, hey, The Simpsons is in Fortnite. And the 1995 people will be like, what's Fortnite? And I'll explain it to them and it'll be like, that's the gayest thing in the world. I'll show them broccoli-haired Zoomer kids fucking doing Fortnite dances. And they'll be like, this is the worst dystopian future I've ever fucking seen in my life. Oh wow, The Simpsons is in Fortnite. Oh my gosh. That's so cool, guys. What a great gaming moment. I bet you people in 20 years will be able to enjoy that amazing game, right? This is where I'm at with a game. Can I play it in 20 years? No. Then there's something about it that feels cheap and shitty and fly by night mobile game shit. That's what it is. Everything's just mobile games now. There's a channel I follow and he's been going over every Simpsons video game and doing really deep dives, like ridiculously long. Like we're gonna spend an hour and a half discussing Bart versus the Space Mutants kind of shit. And he's going through them in order, but he did Tapped Out last year, the mobile game, because he had to. because it was getting shut down and you can't play it anymore. But I mean, say what you will about Bart versus the Space Mutants, but if you have a copy, you can still fucking play it. But no, you got to play it now. It's got to be fear of missing out. It's got to be play it right now. Do it right now. I think it was Tears of the Kingdom when I saw somebody arguing that that game was a failure. Now, in fairness, it didn't sell as well as Breath of the Wild. But I mean, Breath of the Wild sold like a fucking candy-coated AIDS cure in San Francisco. But they're like, it's such a failure. It's been out for 6 months and there's a massive drop-off in players. And I'm like, yeah, because people finished it. Like, they played the game and they're done playing the game. And that's seen as a failure now. It's seen as a failure if it's not an endless fucking hamster wheel that you're meant to be on forever. Then it must be a failure. Chet says you can get Breath of the Wild on Wii U. It's the last Nintendo I bought. I have a Switch. I mean, I was happy with the Switch. I'm not gonna lie. Shit, I didn't even think we needed a Switch 2. No, better graphics, bro. I guess. Does Bing Bing Wahoo need better graphics? We certainly didn't need. We certainly didn't need $90 games that aren't even on the fucking aren't even on the cart. Let's see. Chat saying even PC is overpriced now. I don't know, man. I have never really done PC gaming. I think the last games I ever had on PC, I got Oddworld and Tomb Raider for the computer back in like 97 for Christmas. Played the hell out of them. I didn't have a current console at that point. I got in 2002. When Spider-Man the movie was coming out, I at Walmart I saw the 2000 Activision Spider-Man game for PC. I actually saw it at Walmart. You could buy a physical copy back then, I know. And even on PC. And I played it and it was amazing. That's such a great game. But it's funny, years later I would try and play it on the PlayStation 1 and the graphics were noticeably shittier. Chet says you get rid of the Bulbasaur profile pic for a wigger. Well, no, it's a pigger. But no, it's StreamYards, man. I could just do a different profile pic each time. Then it could be whatever I want. So yeah, that's just today's profile pic. Last time we streamed, it was a little cat with a Dr. Pepper. So I was streaming with Liam Gray for a little while, so I got used to just switching my avatar each time. That is one cool thing about StreamYard. Let's see. I'm gonna check real quick our super chats. See if we got any super chats. I want some super chats. I need the money check. Though I'm not super bad right now. Let's see. Hang on. Just check it. I know I probably don't have any, but we're just checking. Nope. See, it's not going to pop up now. That's what I got to figure this out. Oh my gosh. It's this GameStop up is a stock scam. I mean, I feel bad for I don't know. Even when GameStop was still kind of around, I don't want to say around, but like still kind of more or less thriving like 10, 15 years ago. Even then, I was still just going to my local retro game store because they also sold new stuff. So, Chad says you were just Pineapple Express. I, I've never seen that movie, so I don't really get your reference there. Chad says you got to do show prep for money. I did do show prep. I tried to figure out how to work stream. I don't. That show prep is the fact that I'm even able to stream. Oh man. Let's see. I am going to invite people in the Discord in. Hang on a second. I invited Matt in, so this is what we're gonna do for some shits and giggles here tonight. Hang on. Hang on, Chad. There we go. See if anyone wants to hop into the chat. And you know what? You know what we can do? We can even post it here in the YouTube chat. Here you go. Boom. If any of you want to call in, you just hop the hell in. And the thing is, I do have like a back room, I think. So if you hop in, and like you've selected an avatar that's like hardcore gay porn or something, I don't have to like let you in immediately on screen. So, Chat says, "Holy shit, MTG just Marjorie Taylor Greene." Fuck, man. Cool, awesome. One of two fucking actually genuinely America First people. And what the fuck, man? What'd they have on her? What'd they dig up on her? God. We're so fucked. Fucking Democrats are gonna take control again, and they're gonna get the House and the Senate back in the midterms, aren't they? If you'd asked me 2 months ago, like, I'd be like, no, they're just gonna stream. They're just gonna fucking steamroll over. Like the Republicans are just gonna keep steamrolling over the Democrats, and it's like, no. Instead, the Republicans wanted to be like, hey, how about 50-year mortgages and more money for Israel? Fuck, man, that sucks. Now she's not running. Just is probably not the Senate, but definitely the House. At this rate, I got put in a fucking timeout on Twitter because one of these Democrats, Trump had said something about like Trump had said like something about these Democrats committing sedition. He said it should be the death penalty. I think he said it on Truth Social. And they were all running their mouths because everyone in this administration wants to run their mouth about shit instead of do shit. And one of these Democrats was like, hey, this president is threatening me. And I just replied under it was like, you are committing sedition and you should be tried and executed. And I got immediately popped for violent speech. I tried to appeal it. You can't appeal it. Thank you, sir. I'm afraid that this is not acceptable for a white man to speak his mind. So you are going to be in timeout. Just as I like her more than Massey, though. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I respect Massey, but it's like the fucking open border shit with him. Like he's not openly open border, I think, but he's just like every time you're like, yeah, we need more funding for the border. He's like, nah. All right, cool. But anyways, yeah, for my completely not, I wasn't saying we should go find this congressman's home and storm it and kill everything on 2 feet and burn it to the ground. I didn't say that. I said he should be tried and executed for the sedition that he is overtly committing. We're fucked, man. Chet says Massey wants more legal immigrants, though. Yeah, Massey's bad on immigration. Just full on. Like, he needs to wise the fuck up on that shit. And that's kind of the biggest issue right now. I mean, like, yeah, I know he's not owned by Israel, and that's fucking great. I'm thrilled. That is a major issue, but it's like, no, bro, like, we need more hardworking Mexicans. No, we don't. We need to physically remove probably about 100 million immigrants. Illegal or legal. A lot of the legal ones got to fucking go. They don't fucking belong here. They're turning this place into a shithole. This is only whites value liberty. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I get what you're saying. Like, that's a little reductive, but you're not totally wrong. There's not many Thomas Sowalls or Sowalls or whatever however you say the guy's last name. There's not many Clarence Thomases. Like, there's not. I just don't want to tell you. Yeah. Like, no, it's not quite that simple, blue team. But like, Chet says Bedgeloff more black pilled. I wouldn't say that. I mean, like, see, black pilled is like, oh, it's all pointless. Don't do anything. Just kill yourself. Like, just be a loser and don't ever like try to save money or get a girl or get out. Like, no, I'm not that. That's a fucking suppository. I'm just looking at the state of things and I'm like, oh man, 2 months ago, I thought we were heading in a really good direction. And right now, I don't really think so. That could change in another 2 months. I don't fucking know. I hope it does. It could change for the worse in another 2 months. I don't know. I've made my peace with God. So if this whole fucking world burns down, I guess I'm okay. I would rather that not be the case. Oh my gosh, we got some people calling in. Hang on, let's what we got here. Add to the stage. Dan is calling in. I believe he wants to talk about being here and queer. Super proud. How's it going?
Yes, that's correct. This is my coming out party.
Dan versus his latent homosexuality.
Look.
That is the life's blood.
They say Grindr is necessary for national security.
Look, homosexuality is the life's blood of the online right.
No. So I see you're holding up great now that like you got all the news about your friends and stuff.
I mean, I'm okay. It's been like Commonfield died, Anti-Tim died, Liam Gray decided to lose his mind and make a fucking ass of himself. You know, like I got my best friend in the fucking world since I was 15 has serious health issues, and I'm starting to wonder if he's going to be alive in 10 years. So yeah, it's not the best fucking news here lately. So
no, it's not. I didn't expect Commonfield to drop dead though. That was no. I didn't know Anti-Tim was sick either. But you know, hey, you don't. Me and him didn't exactly mesh.
I hadn't talked to him in years. The last time I talked to him was on Gab. I just around Christmas time got a hair up my ass to like message him and say, "Hey, how you doing? Merry Christmas." I mean, him and I definitely drifted apart. We never really had a falling out, but it was just like, first of all, he's on Gab. I'm not using Gab, but also just running in different circles. So we really didn't. But I always liked the guy.
I mean, it might have been all of the shit talking Catholicism that drove him off.
Him and I butted heads about that, but I think we just sort of drifted apart. We never really had a falling out. It was never like, you know, me and a certain bald Canadian never really had like, you know, a feud.
No. No, Blue Tim, I'm going to push back. Like, Europe is very much a collectivist place. That's actually why our ancestors left.
Yeah, Chet's saying, Anglo countries are. Yeah, Europe is not very free.
No, we wasted so much time and manpower protecting Europe from being steamrolled by the USSR, and they're still just full blown commies now. I mean, I guess for the people that didn't have to live through that, that was worth it. But I mean, they're now doing their own Great Firewall, so kind of a waste of time.
There was a guy on Twitter just the other day, Michael Knows, one of the Israeli Wire guys, one of the Catholics that's working for the Israeli Wire. And he was going on about like HOAs are actually really great. I wouldn't want to live without an HOA. And I'm like, this is why conservatives can't drain the swamp. Because they're literally sitting here right now. They're like, yeah, I love it when some Karen finds me for not cutting my grass according to her liking. Like, that is not the attitude that founded this country. This country was founded on, oh, you raised the tax on tea, I'm going to burn down the docks now.
Man, the tax thing was like the last straw because I don't have time to get into it. Basically,
but that's
like,
the point. The point is,
it was the
country
last
was
straw.
founded on fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, there's stories from my state about like it was effectively wilderness at the time, and people were hearing about the revolution, and they literally just dropped everything, grabbed their rifle, and ran out to the front lines.
Yeah, it's just,
but
it's like that speech in The Gambler when John Goodman's like, "Oh, you're a king, you have an army, greatest navy the world's ever seen. Fuck you, blow me."
No, I'm not particularly thrilled with the news I'm hearing. I did know there would going to be bad shit, because a lot of people on the conservative side just can't help themselves. But I do think at the end we'll still net a positive in this.
Why exactly is Nick Fuentes front and fucking center again?
You know what? Well, I don't think Nick himself is a Fed, but I do think he's one they're going to push as like the new face of the right because he's disgusting.
That's what I mean. Like I respect Tucker way too much. I don't understand. Has no one is Tucker truly compromised, or has no one brought to him like Ali Alexander shit to his attention? Like, Nick is disgusting. Okay. There are plenty of anti-Zionist voices that aren't weird, creepy little queers who ran a boy molesting fucking cult.
You know,
I just don't. Greenwald is an open homosexual who has had apparently like ass-eating fucking videos leaked online, and he's still way less of a gross queer than Nick Fuentes.
Well, no, Matt. So the thing is with Nick, though, is like he's not unique to his generation. There's a lot of Zoomers that just say the edgiest, most disturbing shit they can because it's the only way they get attention.
I get it, but it's like he's just like dating women is gay. Dating women is gay. It's actually tried to munch fucking boy pussy. It's like, what the hell with this guy, man? This is disgusting. Like, I'd rather the Mossad win. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. Speaking of, did you see where like Israel's spending $1 bajillion to like court evangelicals because they've lost ground with them?
They've lost so much ground. Oh my god, dude. Look,
it's killing the kids. You can't touch the kids. Everyone agrees with it. Even a hardened murderer in jails, like, you touch the kids, you die.
Yeah, man, you tend to lose the PR battle when you bomb a fucking elementary school, okay? You know, and like, look, I fucking hate kids, and even I'm like, really? Maybe we calm down.
That really is something.
Like, I get they're annoying and they're doing their Fortnite dances, and we all thought about doing it, but like, let's calm down.
Like, okay, so like, dissecting the situation over there. It's gone on so long you can't resolve it. So my stance is not my sand, not my problem. We should just not give them any money.
Yeah, I'm tired. Like, look, I'm not even interested in stopping you from killing Palestinian babies, but I'm just tired of paying for it. Like, enough. And you know what? Like, you talk about losing the evangelicals. There was a recent poll that 30% of Jewish Americans think Israel is committing war crimes.
because
Like,
they are.
You have. Well, yeah, obviously they are. But,
They're
like, you
using
have
weapons
lost-
we developed specifically to minimize casualties to maximize civilian casualties.
Yes, Israel is committing terrible fucking things, and just horrendously bad. We all know that. But like, you talk about losing. Like, I legitimately think that Nick Fuentes may be funded by the Mossad to make anti-Zionism look cringe and gay. I honestly think that that's a real possibility. But I got news for you, Israel. It ain't working because you are still managing to look more disgusting than Nick Fuentes.
Literally, all they had to do was try to not kill the kids. I mean, I know their goal is to just wipe them out, but like,
Well, also to fuck them and videotape people fucking them for no reasons. There's also that. Like, yeah, dude, it's and the right needs to knock it off with Israel. The Republicans need to knock it off with Israel. Like, look, I don't know who you think you're courting by sucking up to Israel. Jews are still a small percentage of the voting populace.
well,
And
I know
and even half of them don't give a fuck about Israel. And
it's
then
all that
evangelicals, which are your bread and butter, A, are less and less in the Israel camp, and B, are going to vote for you no matter what. Okay. Well, you think they're going to vote for the Democrat that, is pro-trans and abortion and also hates Israel? Like, no, don't worry about it. You got them. They're your bitch. You can bend them over. So stop trying to court them. Who cares? Drop the Israel shit if you want to keep winning. Period. Because the vast majority of Americans, right, left, up, down, whatever, are fucking tired of it.
Well, I want to hear about my country, not one across the world.
I think that's a pretty big reason the fucking brown communist won the mayor of New York. I don't think it's the biggest reason. I don't think it's the only reason. Yeah,
I think the biggest reason is he said free shit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wanted free shit. And look, and to be fair, there were a lot of economic problems that only he was even acknowledging, even if he had terrible ideas for them.
I mean, he's going to make it worse, but yeah, he was talking about
Yeah, he was the only one just even acknowledging that no one can afford shit.
He's going to make it more unaffordable, but,
Yeah.
people don't.
But the other guys are like, what are you talking about? Everything's fine. By the way, I love Israel a lot. Like,
for some reason. Okay, yeah. That's
I know
great.
I'm a mayor.
More affordable in Israel.
I know I'm a mayor and I don't even have anything to do with foreign policy. But let me tell you how great Israel is.
Well, the thing
While
is,
you're
I'm sure
starving.
he was like trying to get the Jewish vote in New York, but he was the motherfucker. He literally rounded the Jews up during the lockdown.
Yeah, but he also did bad things.
Yeah, he killed elderly people.
Yeah, but he also did bad things.
Okay.
I mean, like, you got to keep it all in context. Like, sure, there was some super base things he did. Like, see, somebody gets it. Somebody likes my bigger pick. It's real pig hours over here.
At least you're embracing your inner Zoomer.
What are you talking about? This looks like somebody that this is the Fred Durst. All right, like this does not look a Zoomer.
No, that's the Gen Z stare.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, it does. The dead soulless eyes of a Gen Zer.
Although I will say, I thought he was Gen Alpha, but apparently he's just super young Gen Z. He actually takes interest in things besides Fortnite. There's a guy at work that actually wants to learn about things that happened before him, and like Gen Alpha seems to care about knowing what the world is like. So I'm a little hopeful there.
Can't be worse than the Zoomers.
Yeah, I mean that bar's on the ground. So
the Zoomers are like you took all the narcissism of the Boomers, but you sucked out like 80% of the testosterone. like what if the Boomers were just really queer? That's the Zoomers.
Well, I mean, it's by design. The system wanted Gen Z to be angry and not believe anything, so they can just topple everything and give us that communist utopia.
Oh, man, been a rough few weeks. I can't play any intro music on StreamYard, so I can't play all the Christmas music we should be playing right now.
Praise the Lord.
We've got to blot out this wretched fucking turkey holiday.
Mm.
I'm gonna go to Sheets and get a quesadilla for Thanksgiving. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I agree, Blue Team. They're like Gen X, but without the testosterone. Although the ones in Mexico are like attacking the government palace, so I guess I'll give them some props there.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but when they were asked like what they want, they really couldn't give an answer. They're just kind of angry.
We should invade Mexico. We should declare absolute war on Mexico.
It wouldn't be the first time.
We should go down there and beat the ever-loving piss out of them and just kill every person in the government / cartel because it's the same fucking thing. just put one random fucking Mexican guy in charge and be like, you're in charge now. Don't make us come down here again.
Literally just some random guy we pluck off the street.
We just literally like that guy. Hey, you, come here. You're king of Mexico now. So like clean this shit up and don't make us come down here again.
He probably can't do any worse.
It'd be a massive improvement. I guarantee it.
I don't know. So I used to hate the idea, but there is a proposal that like instead of elected officials, you have like a reverse lottery where you win and you have to serve in the government by gunpoint. I'm kind of warming up to it now. I think literally just random people plucked off the streets by their skinnies would do a better job.
There's an old saying that the ideal king is a farmer who doesn't want the job.
Yeah, but the problem with power is that psychopaths get there. So yeah, we should just pluck people off the street and force them to serve in the government.
Could we just have like normal psychopaths though, and not like ones that worship the devil and fuck kids?
No,
I can just deal with the normal psychopaths. Like, that's just understandable. Like, but I don't want the ones that worship the devil and fuck kids. Like that's kind of hard to deal with. Like, I don't want the ones that are fucking shit up on purpose. Chad says, I realized when I was younger that I truly didn't realize how dumb the average person is, and we are screwed because of it. Find a rando named Maximilian and make him emperor. It's his tradition. Yeah, just find some random, just some random person. Find some old Mexican grandma that's like the fucking matriarch of her fucking family, keeping the whole thing alive, and be like, hey, you know what? You're in charge now. Pick whichever one of your grandsons are the least retarded. they're gonna be the king after you.
Well, it's not just here; it's everywhere that people are. They just have this feeling that everything's just so far corrupt. What the fuck do you even do at this point? But throw it all away.
I get it. You know, you put Trump in there twice after he's been shot at, and he's still like, oh well, I guess I'll just fuck things up again. 50-year mortgages, yay. And then I'm thinking like, well, maybe we get JD Vance in 2028. He seems like maybe
he's anti-immigration, like, period.
But like, then is he just gonna after that be like, yeah, actually, I love Israel? It's like, damn it.
Well, some of it is like, in order to keep the machine running, they have to do horrible things because if they don't, it all falls apart. I'm sure that's some of it, but like, I can't explain away all the behavior that way.
I don't know. What really took the shine off this second fucking term was the way the Epstein shit was handled. Look, Trump could have come out and said, hey man, they shredded all the stuff. We don't have it anymore. And I would have been like, that's suspicious, but you know what? I'm willing.
People would buy that one. That would be a lie people would buy.
But don't come out and be like, there was no Epstein. What are you talking about? There were no Epstein.
And now we have a bunch of it out there.
It's like, no, there was. We remember. Like,
no, you don't. Stop believing your lying eyes.
And then after that, I'm just like, what the fuck, man? I can't. There's no defending that. There's no innocent explanation for how he handled the Epstein shit. There's not. There's
Well,
just
if
bad
the-
explanations and worse explanations.
Yeah. If the Veritas video is to be believed from the guy working for the FBI, he's covering for some Republicans. Like, he's not directly involved, but he's covering for him, which is still pretty bad.
Chat says Vance did condemn West Bank annexation. Vance
did.
is like not very big pro-Israel, and I think he seems like he's having to give lip service to it just because of the party he's in, but like
He's also pretty anti-Vatican, which I thought wasn't allowed for Catholics. I thought they just assassinated you if you were.
honest to God, if I could press a button right now that every U.S. politician who went and touched that wall with the stupid hat is lined up against the wall, I'm pushing that button. Even there's got to be guys I like in that, and I'm going to be like, too fucking bad. Enough.
Yep.
Like, if you put your hand on the wall with the stupid hat, I want you gone. In fact, I want to launch Hellfire missiles at that wall until it's rubble, and I want to put a Buc-ee's there that sells exclusively bacon cheeseburgers.
So this shows how dumb I am. Other than like basically pledging your allegiance to Israel, what does the wall even mean?
I don't know.
It's some Jewish thing, and I'm not Jewish.
They
so
go touch it and they pray to Moloch or something. I don't fucking know.
That's how little I know.
Dude, right before he went insane, I don't know, maybe I broke his brain with it, but right before Liam Gray had his meltdown, I was on Discord chatting with him and I red pilled him on fucking Israel hard. Because he was telling me, like, why do you hate that Pigman guy, Bosch, whatever? And I'm like, because he's fucking Israel dick suck, and he's got 2003 neocon politics. And he's like, yeah, but what's wrong with Israel? And I'm like, oh, you're gonna need to have a seat. We're gonna have a talk here. And I started explaining to him the Israeli plus sign. And this was the one that, because I'm like, you could look it up. And as I'm explaining it, he's going, I just did. What the fuck?
There was something else too similar on Ellis Island, like illiterate Jews wouldn't sign with an X or something. I could be misremembering that.
He got red pilled on the fucking Israeli plus sign. And I'm like, I throw that in every time I'm on like comments on Facebook and one of these evangelical pastors is going on about how great Israel is. I just throw the fucking Israeli plus sign back in their face. I'm like, look, they won't even draw a plus sign because they hate Jesus Christ that much. Now tell me more about how I owe them undying loyalty.
I mean, I don't get it because I've read the Bible. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, well, it says God blesses Israel. I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, first of all, it doesn't really say that. Second of all, it says that in the Old Testament. And I don't know if you knew this, but there's a little bit of a paradigm shift in the New Testament.
well, there's a point where he like it says, I took it to you, but you wouldn't listen, so I took it to the Gentiles. I'm paraphrasing here. Like, they could just be as blessed if they would come to God, but they're not doing that.
Well, the Jews are God's people. No, God's people are those that embrace Jesus Christ. And they come from all tribes, tongues, and nations. Like, enough with this shit. Well, what about the end times? Maybe God has some plan for the end times. Maybe your Left Behind books are spot on. But what has
I've been
that got
left
to do
behind
with
3 times now. So
what has that got to do with me? Okay. Like, if you're right, I'm going to be raptured anyway, so I'm going to have enough to fucking do with it. But
no, we missed it.
Who knows how long from now? Okay. So what does that have to do with right now? Why does that mean right now I have to give missiles to Benjamin Netanyahu?
Didn't you
He's
hear
not-
the rapture was supposed to happen?
He's
already?
not fighting the Antichrist right now. Why does he need my missiles?
It's the site of the victim.
It's the site of the Second Temple. Fuck it, man. It's gonna be this. It needs to be the site of a fucking Walmart.
While we're on this, there's like a branch of evangelicals actively bringing about the apocalypse, and if I could push a button and make them all disappear, very ethically, not painfully at all.
Yes,
push
I
that.
too have heard of the Bush administration.
Well, no, they're like genetically engineering red cows to sacrifice. They have one, and the government of Israel's like, no, you can't do that. So
Pastor Tom and I was having this talk one time, and I don't think I'm telling tales out of school, but he's not into a lot of this kind of revelation model. He doesn't really buy a lot of it. I'm not really sure what he does believe about it. I would actually like to sit down and talk with him about that one time. But he made the point that he talked about how like so many evangelicals don't fight for their country, don't fight for the future because they're just convinced like the rapture is like 2 days from now, so who cares?
It's okay. I want to bitch about Christians today. Most Christians today are fucking lazy pussies that want to give up and have the world end just so that they don't have to do anything.
And it's like, I get that. Like, I used to watch zombie movies in the 2000s and think, when zombies come, it's my time to shine. But no, I'd probably get killed in my fucking sleep.
No, it's not even that. They want to be losers, get stomped on, and be defeated because they think it makes them holy.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Dan? I think we lost Dan. We got somebody, Eric is here. We lost Dan, though. Right when
that sucks.
Came on. I just noticed you in there as I noticed Dan went away. Dan, you could hop back in if your connection picks back up or whatever.
I didn't kick him off, did I?
I don't think so. I don't think that's how this works. Maybe we did. I don't think so. Because you should be able to have like 10 people in here.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Maybe because you used the same invite. I don't know. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to send the invite again, just in case. Just in case. Let me see if it's different or something. Let me see something real quick. I mean, it's the same link. Okay, whatever. It shouldn't. It's not like it's a different link each time. So you shouldn't have kicked him out. I don't think that's what happened. Oh yeah, so we got more people. Here we go. Dan's back.
Okay.
Apologies.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it wasn't you. That was me.
Why is there a picture of a dog? What is this?
I was trying to set. I really have no idea what the hell I'm doing here, so I was kind of trying to set that up as my profile pic.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least you didn't post porn.
Well, there's a dog. There's a cute dog for everybody to look at.
Yeah, that's Jake. He's a Chihuahua. He's half Chihuahua, half wiener dog. He's my little Argentinian.
My dad had a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel years ago named Stewie, and I always thought it had a little bit of Chihuahua in it because it had a very small, skinny build for a Cavalier Spaniel, and it had bug eyes, and he had that sort of nervous Chihuahua energy where when he was really excited about something, he kind of like almost vibrated.
Well, this one is just more possessive, so I think that's a little bit of the German in him.
I mean,
that is mine.
I guess Matt Forney's not joining us. His mic's all screwed up.
But yeah, I just wanted to bitch about my fellow Christians.
I honestly think with like a lot of guys like John Hagee and all these mega church guys that they're just being bought off. That's my contention right there. Somebody's paying them to push this dispensationalist crap.
John Hagee in particular is the most extreme example I know of because John Hagee has said flat out that Jews don't even need Jesus to be saved, which is that's a step further than a lot of these guys ever go. And
I'm pretty sure
John Hagee has that. The first time I really noticed how what was really wrong with him, he was performing a Passover ritual one time. Like on his church. And look, I know a lot of pastors will go over what the Jewish Passover ritual was because Christians believe it was pointing you towards Jesus. But to actually perform the ritual is to kind of spit on the finished work of Jesus. But he's still doing it in full like rabbinical fucking, I don't know, clothing or whatever. And then I heard him several times talk about like, oh, well, yeah, Jews don't need Jesus to be saved. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure
he's honestly one. He's honestly one I think might be paid off. I think a lot of these guys are just cucks and useful idiots, though.
It's a combination of things. You have all these, they pay off these influencers like $7,000 per tweet and crap like that. And then you also have all these other organizations. I mean, not only were they spending millions to just target evangelicals, they were geolocating, like basically just getting their cell phone data because of they were parked in the parking lot of the church and then sending out the targeted advertisements.
I don't get it. And again, I'm, for lack of a less charged term, I'm agnostic on end times issues. So I don't know. Maybe all the left behind Tim LaHaye bullshit is going to play out just like that. But even if it does, why does any of that mean that I'm supposed to suck Benjamin Netanyahu's cock? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I don't understand how that came about. And a lot of these guys, like I said, I think are useful. Like, Ted Cruz is bought and paid for. I'm not sure.
Definitely. It's like,
I'm not sure
$1.8 million comes with some strings attached.
Yeah. John Hagee is bought and paid for, but guys like Jack Hibbs or Greg Laurie that are just like, no, Israel's just so great. And we get, I think they're just useful idiots and cucks.
The ones
if they didn't say that, then Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin would call them Nazis, and they don't want that to happen.
By the way, I want to reiterate once more. I have hated Ben Shapiro since long before it was cool. I have hated Ben Shapiro since 2003. Me and Vox Day are the two original haters of Ben Shapiro. I
didn't quite figure that out until about 2000.
I remember reading WorldNet Daily because I was a politics guy since a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I had friends and a girlfriend that would occasionally tell me to stop being a spurg and have fun. But I remember reading WorldNet Daily, and back then that was the right-wing place on the net. You know what I mean? And like Bill O'Reilly in the height of his career had a column at WorldNet Daily. Ben Shapiro at the age of 19, while he was still in, I think, law school, had a column at WorldNet Daily that his daddy got him, where he was talking about how all the goys need to go die in Iraq. I'm not going to serve, of course, but all you goys need to go die in Iraq.
Sorry to say I was one of those suckers. That's how I kind of figured out, like he's talking about Islamo-fascism, and I'm going like, motherfucker, I ain't seen you over there when I was in the surge.
Yeah, it's like being 19 and talking about how other people need to go to war is the gayest shit in the world.
And
I don't want to hear it.
It's so dumb, too, because he can completely avoid the whole chicken hawk accusation. All he has to do is just walk over and join the Army Reserve as a lawyer. And then he's placed over there in the JAG Corps. He's given a direct commission. Doesn't have to go through. He goes through like a gentleman's basic training. Does 1 weekend a month. Might deploy, but you're stuck in an air-conditioned office on the safe part of the fob the entire time. Basically, David French did the same damn thing, and so did Prescott Bush. I think it was like George Bush's nephew or something like that. But yeah, there's an easy way for you to actually get your check mark on the I'm a veteran card, and therefore avoid any accusation that you're somehow this chicken hawk. And he didn't even fucking do that.
I remember a line Vox Day had in his article because Vox Day was calling him the littlest chicken hawk at the time. Vox Day, by the way, also had a column at WorldNet Daily that his daddy got him. But he called him the littlest chicken hawk, and he had a line in there. He was like, I don't know why, despite his feverish support for this war, Ben Shapiro won't enlist. Perhaps he has some medical condition, or maybe he has a penchant for bathhouse sex with anonymous men.
No.
But no, fuck Benjamin. Even at the time. And Ben Shapiro is also one of those guys, kind of like Fuentes, where I'm like, how does anybody fall for him? Because you should just be able to look at him and immediately just be like viscerally disgusted. Ben Shapiro looks
fast, and for most people, that's the same as sounding smart.
Yeah, but he's just evil. Like, you should just be able to tell at a glance that he's evil. Like, he just looks.
What was like the evil look in his eyes?
Evil.
What gave it away?
Yeah, he just. Every fucking instinct in your body should be recoiling. That little caveman in the back of your brain the lizard hindbrain. It should be like, oh, you got to get away from that motherfucker. Either that or bash his head in, but we can't be around this guy.
I think
Well,
it would be more
that
obvious.
unibrow with Jeremy's razors. I'll say that much.
I think it'd be more obvious if he was maybe a foot taller.
Eric, I'm sorry. Did you get Jeremy's razors?
No, I just remember you bitching about it.
Yeah, my
brother
dad.
actually- yeah.
My dad, I'm sorry to say, my dad, boomer, love him, really switched on for a boomer, but he is a boomer. And he saw those ads and he saw that here's a commercial for razors with hot chicks in bikinis, and he was assured that buying them would own the libs. So he bought a pack of these razors, and they are the single worst fucking razors. And it was the whole pack. I tried multiple ones. It was just ripping the hair out of your face.
Another thing about that, they claimed
I
they
could have
couldn't get.
shaved better with a butter knife.
Oh, that's not even the worst part. Have you actually seen that damn chocolate they tried selling?
I
At
heard
Jeremy's,
that tastes
the
like shit.
he, him, the she, her bars. Cheapest one, $24. 4-pack, $8 a fucking candy bar.
It's the
That-
fucking ice.
Are they? They're not any good either, are they?
I don't know. I know they didn't set up a damn factory to do this, so probably
Hello,
what they did
can you
is
hear
they
me?
just immediately went to a subcontractor.
Yes, we can hear you.
Cool.
I don't know
Meanwhile-
what the-
So the
You go
other
to
thing
Ace
about the
Hardware?
razor deal, they claimed they couldn't get them made in the U.S., but I know that's bullshit because at work we use a U.S. supplier for razor blades.
just imagine like your face is bleeding and you're eating waxy dog shit chocolate, and you're like, I'm really showing the libs.
Well, I had seen with Ben Shapiro, they made that movie, like the Pendragon saga with Brett Cooper, and I guess for some reason now they're finally just like releasing that, and it's like I'm not going to slog through that. It may be good, it probably isn't going to be, but I'm not just going to slog through that to own the libs.
God, I watched.
I've
part of
heard
it.
the book is good, but I've never read it.
Man, if the book actually is good, then
Buy the
why
book.
would the writer sell the rights to the Daily Wire of all people? Like, if it's actually decent, like Netflix will put the stamp on fucking anything. I'm surprised they didn't go with that.
But
I don't know.
Andrew
Maybe he
Klavan
didn't want his
write it.
characters turned into black people in wheelchairs.
I mean, Andrew Klavan works over there, so did like he write it or something like that? I'm not quite familiar with it. But if the show is actually good,
if,
I'm willing to apologize to Jeremy Boring. I mean, it's
If
like,
I
okay,
ever
fine.
had a
You had to
book-
give him a couple of boomers, but you made your movie.
if I ever had a book and the Daily Wire bought it, first of all, it would have to be a dumb truck full of money. But second of all, I would want a fucking clause in there where I'm allowed to shit on the movie. Because if it sucks, and it almost certainly would, I would be on fucking X and shit going like, this is dog shit. I apologize that my name's on it.
I got done reading a book series, and there was an adaptation to his books, and he does shit on the adaptation in his own books. So you can do it.
Well, Stephen King, I mean, he shits on most of the adaptations of that have been made into movies.
Yeah, but those adaptations are usually better than the books.
Yeah, a lot of times that happens with author, like how Alan Moore shits on every adaptation of his work, and most of them are better.
No, hardly anybody would know what his work is if it wasn't for the movies.
Like,
Yeah,
they
the
changed
version of
the
the
ending
writing-
to Watchmen, and the ending of the movie is better. From
Yeah,
Hell
I
is
had,
at least the movie, and the book is dog shit.
Yeah, 'cause I had
Vendetta is
seen
a
the-
better movie than it's a book.
yeah, I saw the Watchmen movie before I ever read the comic books, and I was surprised to learn that it ends with the giant squid attack in New York, and I was like,
Yeah, not
wow,
only
the
does it
movie
make-
really was betting.
Not only does it not make sense, but he literally rips it out of a fucking Outer Limits episode. So it wasn't even original.
Well, that and I also remember it because I have a whole bunch of back issues of those EC comics they used to make there in the 50s. And they had, like, in one of the short stories in one of their sci fi comics, the same premise. Oh, we're going to make it look like Mars hit us with a nuclear weapon so that people on Earth stop fighting. And then the twist is that there really were Martians, and then they retaliated at us.
Then,
But
yeah. No, my favorite part about Watchmen is that the author hated Rorschach, and everybody loves him because he's the only good person in the entire book.
you know what? I will say one thing that if you look back on the 80s and the people who really believed in communism were communists and people absolutely opposed to communists. not communists living actually under communism. Those people didn't really believe in it. But Western communists and those who really hated communism in the West, those are the only two who really believed that believed in it because they thought it would always exist. Like if you go back and you read like all the authors from the 80s and the 70s and 60s, nobody, and I mean nobody was predicting, oh, the Soviet Union is just going to collapse in on itself by the 90s. Nobody predicted that.
I will say with Alan Moore, Razor Fist always goes off that he's a terrible writer, and that's just Razor Fist being a contrarian faggot. Alan Moore is a very good writer. Alan Moore is not nearly as good of a writer as people pretend. And this idea that he's this paradigm of like artistic integrity is fucking ridiculous. Because like I remember Alan Moore spent the entirety of the 90s writing dog shit under Rob Liefeld at Extreme Comics. Like, don't tell me he's this paradigm of artistic integrity just because he's mad he's accidentally signed away the rights to Watchmen.
Oh,
Was the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen under Extreme Comics, or was that under
No,
DC?
that was something else. I think it's creator owned, but it might have been published at Vertigo, I believe, or either that or Dark Horse.
I will say that it's really interesting because I actually did read From Hell before watching the shitty Johnny Depp movie, and it goes into this, all this elaborate thing that is somehow like this doctor working for the Queen of England or some crap like that, and just recently, it's just like DNA evidence has shown that Jack the Ripper was just some immigrant, got syphilis, and then just started killing hookers because he went nuts from the syphilis.
Well, it'll do that to you.
Yeah, that's one of the weird things is that you learn growing up, because if you see shows like Dexter, you think, oh, serial killers are all these super smart people. No, most of the time they're just like deranged dummies, and it's just because the cops don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the cops don't care. See, that's you watch these cop shows and you want to believe that Detective Gorin is going to stop at nothing to figure out who killed this whore. And it turns out that no, the cops are just going to blame the nearest homeless guy and go get lunch.
Well,
They don't fucking care.
They get rewarded for convictions, not actually finding out who did it.
Yeah, it's like
That actually happened. That actually happened to Elliot Ness. He eventually became like, I think it was either Cleveland, some city in Ohio. I think it was either Cleveland or Cincinnati, where he became the chief of police during the Depression, and there was a series of murders, and so he basically ended up just burning down the local homeless encampment, basically because they couldn't figure out who the hell was doing it.
Just murder a bunch of homeless people. Why not?
Well, no, they just burned down the encampment and just scared away all the homeless. They just kicked them all out of town and go like, well, hopefully that solves the problem.
Hopefully
that did it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hopefully. It's not like serial killers.
Well, it's somebody
tend to
else's
be-
problem now, so we're good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like serial killers tend to be higher, like middle class to high class and high IQ or anything.
Hopefully,
It's
the killer that we scared away learned his lesson.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't move
Yeah.
somewhere else and kill more people there.
Well, technically, if he's killing people somewhere else, is it really your problem anymore?
No, it's their fucking problem.
Exactly.
Well-
So the problem's solved.
So
One of the people who they profiled as the Zodiac, who they thought might be the Zodiac killer, they actually found.
Yeah, Ted Cruz
this
with a
is
time
really
machine, just like it was then.
no, it was like this guy, like he had an internet account, and some other guy who they thought did it, and supposedly he had was internet posts shit talking the other serial killers. It's like, okay, the cop, if it really is this person, the cops really missed somebody.
Oh, that reminds me of a movie from the 80s where H.G. Wells actually built a real time machine and actually traveled forward in time to San Francisco in the 70s. And apparently there was like a real Professor Moriarty who did that, or like the real Jack the Killer, Jack the Ripper, actually went to San Francisco and he was the Zodiac Killer or something like that. And H.G. Wells had to travel through time to stop him.
I thought Ted Cruz was the Zodiac killer.
I did too.
He was the Zodiac killer when no one else was.
See, Ted Cruz.
See, there again, immigrants stealing our damn jobs.
Ted Cruz will one day go back in time and become the Zodiac killer, and we all gave him the idea. It's a little Terminator 1 time loop there.
I saw a thing recently where so cops have been there's this company that puts up AI cameras that track you all the time, and cops buy the data from them. And there was this case where a cop just picked some random person who was driving by in an area and started accusing her of being a thief that was stealing porch packages, and was like all gung ho to prosecute her and everything. But she had a EV, and the car could prove that it wasn't her. But yeah, cops just go around accusing random people. Like, even with the most dystopian tools, they still can't solve crime.
Oh, it's like that South American country down there that put all the people in jail. Oh, yeah. I mean, they did a great job reducing the crime rate. What did they do? They arrested anybody with a tattoo. Tattoo
Yeah,
on the
literally
face, put them in jail.
Yeah, there was one time I was at a workplace and a disgruntled employee, like they actually called in a bomb threat and they had to evacuate the whole distribution center. And like when we asked the cops, we're like, okay, we know who it is because it was this person and her boyfriend just got fired yesterday. And they were going through the whole process. It's like, oh, well, we got to get a warrant. We got to look through phone records, all that stuff. It's like, oh, you're going to do it, right? And no, they never even investigated it.
No, they
Yeah.
don't care.
No.
They
As soon as they figured out it wasn't really a real bomb, they didn't care.
Yeah.
I love when they're like, oh yeah, we'll just do this extreme nonsense, and then it always reminds me of the '90s Batman cartoon where like the evil robot Batman was like, once Hardak kills all the humans, there won't be crime anymore. And it's like, I
mean,
guess that's one way.
Some of the early AI models came up with that conclusion too.
It's like, I mean, sure. It's like saying, well, you have cancer, so we're going to inject bleach into your bloodstream. We're pretty sure that'll kill the cancer. I guess, yeah, technically.
If we incinerate you won't have cancer anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna just shove you in this medical incinerator, and that'll kill the
Anyway,
cancer.
fellas, I just gotta say that I do. Like I spent a lot of time working for the Department of Defense, and I don't ask me how I know this, but hint, wink, wink. Don't worry about AI getting into our nuclear launch codes because nobody makes punch cards anymore, and the Go code is a racial slur. So we're covered.
I thought we were still using floppy disks. Not even the small ones, but like the big fucking ones from the 70s.
We still, believe it or not, the F-35, you can't hack the F-35 because it's still running MS-DOS.
Sweet.
Yeah, they really started working on that damn jet back in the early 90s when MS-DOS was like the cheapest operating software for it. So that's it runs on DOS like 6.2 or something like that.
That's
and it's this little stealth fighter jet. It's running on fucking MS-DOS.
So you can't hack it, but you can play Leisure Shoot Larry on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I don't want my like critical infrastructure and weapons technology to run a modern operating system. I don't want it like programmed by 500 Jeets in India with code that was copy pasted from GitHub.
Well, can you guess which one of our allies has repeatedly given our stuff to the Chinese that we've collaborated on? Then
you're here. Do you think any of us don't know?
I'm going to guess they're roughly 6,500 miles from my house.
It's Canadians, right?
No, no, it is the Swedes. It's the Swedish.
Oh, well, actually, yeah, I didn't expect that.
No, I'm joking. Of course, it was Israel. It couldn't be anybody but Israel.
I thought it was actually someone I didn't suspect.
It turns out the answer is all of them, just mostly Israel.
One of the funniest stories I read was where Taiwan, they have a defense system that was made by Switzerland, and they shipped it off for diagnostic and repair, but that company no longer does that anymore. They don't have anybody employed that can do it. So they shipped it over to China, which is the country it's defending them from, because they like had an outsourced department there.
That is
so if you think our country's fucking retarded, guess what? Pretty much everybody's in that boat now.
Well, there's a case recently where there was this, I think it was a semiconductor chip manufacturer that's located in the Netherlands. And they seized control. They had like a joint venture with China, but because China did some political thing, the Netherlands seized the control of it from China. But they don't have any of the factories located in the Netherlands. They're all in China. So the Chinese were like, all right, well, fuck you. we're going to seize the factories, and now that company can't actually manufacture the stuff that they're selling anymore.
You know, it was the smartest idea we had in the entire world to just offsource all of our manufacturing to a country that is openly hostile to all of us. That was
Yeah.
You know, the same guys who said it would be a great idea if we moved all of our factory jobs over to the communist China were the same ones saying that we need to build more ships for the Navy in order to confront the communist Chinese.
oh, you're
So
saying there
it's,
maybe is an investment scam there.
Well, yeah, it's some of the stuff they had going on with like the USS Gerald R. Ford. That's a harbor queen. It was several $1 billion over budget. It's basically 100,000 ton paperweight, and we're building more of the damn things. It's a complete waste of money, but it's dumb stuff like that. It's truly nuts. I mean, and that's another thing about Shapiro. It talks about how we need this. He's a neocon when it comes to like national defense and stuff like that, but he's also saying that we need to ship away all of our factory jobs, even though having factories is what in America is what won World War II.
Yeah.
Well, no, Ben doesn't want to ship away his country's jobs. It's just
yeah.
that his country is Israel.
Oh,
Yeah, but who's
yeah, I
going to
forgot
fucking
about
give
that.
them $1 bazillion every second if we're fucking off the map?
Well, they've been cozying up to India a lot lately. There's been some
Yeah, but what
relations
are they
between
gonna
those two
do?
Yeah,
countries.
but do you think, but with the way India is, do you really think India is going to be competent enough to actually do shit for them, and B, have an economy big enough? Well, I guess they have by sheer mass.
Look, man, I get kind of nervous and not happy about the state of America. I don't know if we're heading the right direction, if we're going to turn things around or whatever. But like, one thing I am confident of, and it is the silver lining, is no matter what happens, Israel's getting fucked up the ass. Because here's the deal:
They pissed
if
everyone off.
America turns brown and communist, nobody's going to fucking help Israel anymore from here. If America goes America first and actually turns shit around, we're still taking our protective hand off Israel. Either way, the protective American hand is coming off Israel. And I know evangelicals think it's God protecting Israel, but no, it's actually us. Okay? In fact, I don't think God's particularly fond of Israel these days. So
You-
they're getting fucked in the ass within
You-
conservative estimate 50 years. And that's a very conservative estimate.
You think the people that have come up with the tale of the golem would learn their lesson?
Yeah, they'll be lucky if they're not pushed into the sea at the end of 50 years. And it's their fault. Look, if you would have just, like, you could have been a fucking parasite on our neck and we wouldn't have noticed until you got way too fucking big and way too fat and started taking way too much blood.
Well, if we were like still like the 90s level utopia that we didn't appreciate now, I don't think we would notice if we were still sending them $1 billion a second.
Yeah, but now, like, look, one way or another, Israel, you better fucking figure your shit out, because the days of America protecting you are going to come to an end one way or another. Now, maybe if you're lucky and you actually pull your weight, you could maybe manage to have a mutually beneficial relationship, but something tells me there's something in your nature that won't allow that.
yeah, it's crazy. You have this golden goose. You have this goose. It's going to lay you a golden egg, and it's always going to lay you a golden egg. All you have to do is make sure that it's healthy and it's well fed. But if it gets sick, you're just going to squeeze the goose to get one more egg out of it, and then it's going to croak.
Chat says you can tell it's serious for Israel when the shill say that Western civilization hinges on Israel's survival. Yeah, I love that. Like, oh, America needs Israel. It's like, really? I didn't know America was founded in 1948. Get fucked.
I think we have higher priorities right now. We've got an entire generation they're fucked. The generation after them is not looking that great, although better. And then there's all the other shit we got to deal with.
Yeah, we got way too much going on right now. Like, no.
And we have, the growing Islamic population here.
Yeah,
did you see where Minnesota has Somali tribal politics like actually going on right now?
Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, Israel, but you kind of a lot of your people forced us to turn, Detroit, Michigan into a fucking Afghanistan. So you think America's protecting you after that? Like,
I will say that a lot of this sudden concern for the Christians in Nigeria and Islamic infiltration in the United States, I think sweet and low is less artificial.
Oh yeah, I want all of them gone, man. I'm tired of third worlders over here that just like.
There's
Enough.
Americans I want to deport. I don't want the people further down on that list here either.
Well, unfortunately for us, as soon as they're born here, they're automatically part of the club, and we can't kick them out.
Well,
That's what you say. But, I've had a lot of my rights violated.
yeah, you know what? You can just do things, okay? Like, the government can't do most of what it does, all right? Like, yeah, look, this isn't 2008. Ron Paul's not on the ballot anymore. We passed
They can't assassinate a guy for just talking to college students either.
Yeah, it's done. That problem's done. Like, look, you know what? I don't even feel the slightest bit bad because here's the thing about Americans: if you all had come here and fucking learned the language and act it right, we wouldn't have cared. We never would have cared. Nobody gives a fuck that you hopped a fence or you skipped a line. We're Americans. We don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. But you come over here and you fuck things up, and now we care. And white people are really nice until they're not.
Well, I would want the illegals gone regardless. But, like, if the legal ones would assimilate to the culture and not, like, just bring their entirety of the third world here, people wouldn't have noticed or cared.
That's right, Chad. I also want to get rid of the Amish. You're correct. They are trash.
I have never met a man with more hatred in his heart for the Amish than you.
You did red pill me on the AQ, and I got to give you some credit for that.
We need a final solution. We're going to gather them up for a nice shower. Only it's going to be an actual shower because they stink.
One of the funniest videos you ever made, it was Artistic Layman. He animated this rant you went on where you're talking about like how every Amish vid just needs to drown in a puddle of their own poop.
No,
it's like,
okay, no, you're
it's hilarious.
No. I'm gonna go. You got me started. I'm gonna go in on this. So, this is a thing that happens with the Amish. About once a year, I hear of at least one case of an Amishman drowning in shit. And how this happens is they have these. If you ever drive by an Amish farm, sometimes you'll see them. They look like big, giant concrete above ground pools, and they're full of just fucking manure and often human sewage. And they just have this just sitting there, just festering in the fucking summer sun, which is itself a fucking problem. But they got to stir this shit, like they're on Twitter. They got to stir the shit. And they get up on the side and they start stirring the thing literally with fucking sticks. This is how backwards these morons are. And there's no protective gear. There's no ladders. There's no buddy system because they don't value their own lives. And so they get up there, and it's not the smell that bothers them because there are not smells that could bother them. It's that the fact that the ammonia and the methane literally just cuts off the oxygen to their stupid fucking brains, and they pass out and they drown in the shit. That happens constantly with these fucking people. They just won't take the slightest bit of fucking like safety into account, and they just drown in shit. And to me, that's just cosmic justice. Like, why do they drown in shit? Because they deserve to. They died as they lived, stupidly
they
and covered in
find
filth.
like a gas mask that doesn't have buttons on it.
Well, no, you can't use a gas mask if it's displacing the oxygen. You need an active oxygen supply, which they won't have that for sure.
It's hilarious. Every time I hear about it, I'm like, fuck off, you gross. Fucking hate the Amish.
You know what? I know how we can save America. First, we deport all the illegals. Then all the legal ones, including the Europeans, I want them gone too. Fuck them. Then we can give the Amish to Canada, which will probably improve Canada.
Canada has nowhere to go but up.
They're not developing up. They're developing their farmland. The country that doesn't have a lot of farmland because it's fucking cold.
Chat says once that I described the Amish as decomp. Yes, this is true. See, nothing stinks worse than an Amishman. And what an Amishman smells like is just BO obviously, ass, shit, piss, manure, and also decomp, because I think they are just usually rotting under all that filth a little bit. Like, and then the women are actually worse because you got to add like a whiff of low tide to the mix. They're awful. My God, dude. God, they stink so fucking bad. You think an Indian person is filthy? You have no idea. Like, the Amish are just that. They're every bit as backwards and disgusting and usually inbred as the worst third world immigrants we have. But for some reason, people on the right think they're cute because they're white and because they pretend to be Christian.
Dude, you're giving me flashbacks to Afghanistan with the open pit sewers. Oof. It's basically what they would do is they'd just have like the shallow trench along the side of the road going through the village, and that's where all the sewage would drain out into.
Yeah.
And that's the better villages that were actually trying to be halfway decent. The rest of them, they just had trash all over the place. Afghans are disgusting.
That kind of shit disgusts me. Honestly, like, and especially when you hide it behind Christianity, like the God of abundant life did not tell you to not have a toilet and not wash your balls. All right, like he never said that to you. Okay, like real Christianity is building up civilization and going to the moon. Most of the early NASA guys, the ones at least that weren't Nazis left over, were Christians. Okay, like that's, you know, there's this divine spark in us that wants to create art and technology and big beautiful buildings and shit. And the Amish have none of that. They've just snuffed that shit out because they were going to be plain, and the fuck off with that.
Well, I've been told that being a Christian is to hasten the apocalypse.
Why are they all named Yoder?
It's a common name.
God, they stink. And they're so inbred these days, too.
Well, my town has Mennonites.
What's the difference between the Amish and the Mennonites? I've heard different
The way
things.
I understand it is the Amish are like a spin-off heresy of the Mennonites. From the
Mennonites have technology. Mennonites have cars. Mennonites are basically like really, it like you took the worst aspects of evangelicalism and you just cranked it up to 11. Like they could technically have TVs, but they're basically not allowed to watch anything. That kind of like just hyper legalistic Christianity.
The women all dress like it's still home on the prairie.
Oh God, that's hilarious. When you see Mennonites out in public, the dudes are dressed just normal, like a little bit conservative, you know, like maybe a polo shirt or
jeans,
or a button-down shirt. No, they look a little conservative and a little, but just normal. They look like they belong in the current fucking year, but like the women look like they're auditioning for Little House on the Prairie, and it's so funny that like the women have to dress ridiculously and the guys can just put on jeans.
There was a video of some Mennonite women, and they were admitting that they had never heard of a bunch of stuff, but the weirdest one to me is that they never heard of Batman.
How do you not know about Batman?
I could buy that. They are super sheltered. There's a very close friends that I have from my former church, and like they grew up Mennonite, but they broke away from it. But you know, for a while when she was first going to church, the wife of that family was still wearing that goofy little hat they had. And the only reason she kept doing that was because her mother was like still super Mennonite, and she was afraid her mother would freak out if she stopped wearing it. Never dressed. To me, I think it was even an old George Carlin bit, and he did suck. But like, there's an old bit about how religions are too obsessed with hats, and he always joked about like if I started a church, the first rule would be hat optional. But like, yeah, man, I feel like any branch of Christianity that's starting to police what kind of hat you wear has gotten way too legalistic.
I don't know if they still do it, but the Pentecostal churches here used to be like if you could like run your fingers through your hair and close your fingers and pull on the hair as they came up, your hair was too long and that was sinful and you were going to hell. So literally everybody had buzz cuts on like the lowest settings.
Yeah, you've lost the plot if you're going on about that.
I don't know if that's still a thing, but like I remember being told I was going to hell all the time.
I go to a Lutheran church.
But yeah, I don't really have much of a problem with the Mennonites. Like, I think a lot of their shit is stupid, but it's like, you know, I have problems with the Amish because, like, yes, I also think their shit is stupid, but you have buggies on the road that are fucking up the roads and being a nuisance and spreading horseshit everywhere. Your farms pollute like crazy. You're just a menace and a hazard. And it's like, you know, your rights stop when it's in the way of my trying to get the fuck to work. Like,
I
knock
remember
it
when
off.
I remember when I was stationed in Fort Knox, Kentucky. There was a big brouhaha going on because the state wanted the Amish to actually have that stupid orange triangle on the back of their buggies, and the Amish were resisting it because it's against their religion. And the state saying is that it's an all-black vehicle. You have to put a warning placard on the back of it.
Yeah, we just passed that you have to have the triangle or a lamp. So a lot of them bought antique car lamps to hang on the back of their wagons because they just refuse to use the triangle.
One funny thing they do, and this just shows you it's Jewish elevator button pushing levels of shit. But it's like they're not allowed to drive cars. But the Amish, because a lot of them work construction, and just for other reasons, they will hire drivers to come pick them up and take them places. So, like, the logic behind that is staggering. If it's a sin to drive a car, which it's obviously not, that's retarded. But if it was, it would still be a sin to pay someone else to do it. Like, that's well, I didn't kill somebody. I just paid somebody to kill somebody. No, that's actually kind of worse.
Yeah, but we're all going to hell, see, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's like Ben Shapiro hiring Matt Walsh to push the elevator button.
Now, I have been informed by chat that this is now a hate crime in the UK, and to that I say good. Come arrest me, I dare you.
Well, I mean, not having a lifetime subscription to Blacked is a crime in the UK.
Watching porn without a license is a crime in the UK.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You also have to have your jack off license.
Yeah, I thought about that. I figure the Russians can actually take over all of the United Kingdom. All the paratroopers just have to do is just shout Allah Akbar as they hit the ground, and you know the British Army and the police won't do anything about it.
Just wrap a towel around your head and you're good to go.
Or you could just take one of their big fancy statues, just replace the plaques with the plaque that just says the Prophet Muhammad, and let the Muslims do the work themselves.
Okay, it says the Amish should hire India drivers, then two problems would solve themselves. Sir. My God, can you imagine how much a vehicle would stink for an Amishman and an Indian? It's
I
like
don't know
throwing
what
up
it is,
on a pile of shit.
I don't know what it is, but Middle East, South Asia, none of those people know how to drive. And matter of fact, all of Asia, including the subcontinent, none of them know how to drive.
There are no rules of the road.
It's because they don't value life. Like, I honestly think it might be the whole reincarnation belief. Like, they just think, you know, whatever, I'm going to respawn later. But they just don't value their fucking lives at all. Like, it's why they're constantly getting hit by trains.
You know the game Chutes and Ladders?
Do any of you know anyone who has been hit by a train?
Not that
the answer is probably no. Because most people, like, in America would have the good sense if they live near a train track to, like, not fucking, like, dance on the train track while the train's coming. Like...
You know the game Chutes and Ladders, though?
Yeah.
Where it's just random chance if good things or bad things happen to you? That game's from India.
That makes sense.
It's actually a religious game to teach you one of the core tenets of the religion. We should, yeah. This is one of their base mentalities, and we should totally import more of that.
No wonder they got conquered by the fucking British.
I love how like.
Well, before the British, they were ruled by the Muslims. Still, yeah, they've really just been conquered by pretty much every outside power that gives it a whirl.
Their religion teaches that reality is an illusion and that shit's just gonna fucking happen to you.
Well, that train ain't an illusion. It's gonna come just fucking smash it. No, like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, even damn near 10 years ago, Indians had great reputations, and India was seen as some mystical fucking spiritual
It
hidden
was the
fucking
mystical East.
land of magic.
Yeah.
Like, and now they're just known as like show Bob's and Vagine and give Apple gift card, and I smell like
And
doo-doo.
throwing your trash on the ground and shitting on the street corner.
And being nepotistic when it comes to hiring in corporations and firing
Getting
you
into
and
a
replacing with an
position
H-1B.
and then making up shit about all of their coworkers that are not Indian and then bringing in their buddies.
And running people over in fucking Big Mac trucks.
And just fucking murking entire families. Yeah.
Dude, I heard a crazy statistic. So Sikhs only make up 0.25% of the population, but they make up 35% of truckers on the West Coast. Like, what the fuck is going on with that?
Oh
How?
yeah, they'll give a driver's license to anybody in California.
So you're saying if you lose your license for perpetual drinking, go to California?
Yeah, and their
No, I
license
make you
will
a
actually
tune,
say
sir.
no name given. You just make sure you're wearing a turban.
Well, it's anarcho-tyranny. So if you, if you point like a .09, they will like take away your right to drive a car for a year. But Sundeep can get a CDL and plow like a 80,000-pound truck right into your little Kia.
I hate
No big
that
deal.
term. I know why people use it, but I hate that term. It's just communism. That's how the commies rule things. Like they let all of the dangerous people out that any normal person would be like, yeah, we should probably just lock them up for a while. And they cause as many problems as possible, so you'll just give them more power, which they'll use to cause more problems and then feed the system infinitely.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons why they had so much immigration coming into the UK because of Brexit. They've, let's face it, the reason why they're importing all those brown and black people is so that Brexit never happens again.
Well, I mean, they're already arresting people for just criticizing the government, even within like their dumb rules. Like a guy in Germany got his house raided recently because he just said the government was stupid. So they're probably never going to have anything like Brexit ever again because you won't be allowed to say it.
One of the ironic things about Brexit was before that, most of the immigrants to the UK were actually from other European countries. And then after Brexit, it became mostly like Africans and Indians and Pakistanis.
Yeah, because you figure if it's some guy from Poland moves to London, his kids start thinking of themselves as just white Englishmen. But you're not going to have that if it's some guy from like Zambia.
Sir, I am Englishman.
Speaking of which, I hear that Vivek isn't really doing too well in the governor's race for Ohio.
You watch too much Saved by the Bell, sir. You watched The Boy Meets World, sir. You did not study. You watched The Boy Meets World. I tell you, you're stupid on Christmas. What a self-destruct. That was amazing.
All you had to do was just not post that, and you could honestly have been like, and just kept your mouth shut. He could have been a viable candidate in 2028.
For fuck's sakes, it's like Ohio's now a red state. He could have just walked into the governor's office. No problem.
Yeah,
nobody would have really made a big deal about the freaking medical scam.
Yeah,
and that was his
all fat and lazy and didn't want to do work, and he had to import a billion people that looked like him.
Yeah, his own like the Democrat has been dragging him relentlessly for that, and honestly, good on him.
As he should. I mean, he doesn't actually give a fuck. He's going to do the same shit, but he should be dragged through it. Like, I hate hearing about how Americans don't want to do those jobs and they're not skilled. I am literally one of the people with a fucking STEM degree who can't get those jobs because they want to hire nothing but Indians.
Well, I took the opposite approach. I realized that there was no way in hell I was going to be able to get that fancy piece of paper from the university without being a perpetual debt slave. So I decided to go overseas with a rifle. Then I decided to join the Army afterwards.
You know, my company for the DEI program, DEI/Bridge, veterans count as a special group.
Really?
Yeah, you're in with the gay people and the Jews.
No. Hmm.
That's their a part of their approach to try to trick people, like mostly white people, into being okay with their diversity programs because it totally includes you. See, yeah, they trust us.
Yeah, just I think I remember when South Park was talking like the advocacy group or something like that. You know, it's like just somebody just argues for us. You know, like what the heck would the veterans already have an advocacy group. It's called the VFW. We just sit around and drink all day, which is actually kind of nice. But,
I don't understand how Pride Month helps us make medical devices to save people's lives. I just don't.
Well, it's just a lot easier to spot the problem when it's like a rainbow-colored butt plug instead of a flesh-colored plug. And, that the rainbow, it's more noticeable on the, on the X-ray chart.
I'm sure the guy laying in the hospital bed with the blockage in his arteries really he wants it to be rainbow colored, and he will not accept treatment till it is.
Oh, did you hear that story about a guy who went in there with get an MRI with he had a metal?
Yes, I did.
Take it out. It was like an anal rail gun.
It had a metal core, and people have died because they've been pulled across the room and into those things.
Yeah, like the guy with the big chains. It was like some dude who had like a 20.
It wasn't even like heavy jewelry or anything. He just weight traded with a big ass chain. Got pulled across the room and slammed into the fucking MRI machine.
That's crazy. I think that kind of reminds me. Speaking of those medical equipment, it reminds me of like one of the biggest nuclear disasters that happened in North America. Is that the Mexican hospital scrapped. Sent an X-ray machine off to a junkyard, and they scrapped the damn thing and ended up spreading radioactive contamination all throughout northern Mexico.
Wait, that happened twice?
Yeah, I mean that was more than 3 Mile Island, and
I
grew up in Pennsylvania, really close to the Limerick power plant. I remember my dad telling me, "It says yeah, if that thing ever blows its top, it was we're in the immediate death zone, so don't worry about it."
There was another case. It was in Brazil where it was another medical device thing, but they threw it in the junkyard, and there was some little kid.
They didn't pull the radioactive core canister out, which you're supposed to send off when you scrap them. I didn't know that happened twice. So
yeah, this little kid, and because they glow in the dark and they look kind of cool, and this kid was digging through it, and he was going around and showing it to people, and was taking it around his little favelas, making
radiation.
Yep.
I mean, he doesn't know any better, but somebody in that line should have. It's not as bad as when the USSR just left a bunch of radiothermal generators unattended throughout the whole country.
I think they had a similar accident toward Chernobyl. They were building nuclear missiles during the 50s or 60s, and one of them blew up and it contaminated a whole site. But it was it's somewhere in the deep Urals, so nobody really gave a shit about it.
Didn't they lose a nuclear warhead in North Carolina back in the 50s?
No, that wasn't the Russians. That was the United States. What happened was that I think it was either a B-58 or a B-52. It got hit by lightning and broke apart, and they lost one of the bombs.
Yeah, it's just unaccounted for. I think we're missing two.
Oh, no,
more.
They know where it is. It's just that it's buried so deep in the mud and stuff. Fuck it, might as well just leave it there. It's not bothering anybody.
So you're saying there's a nuke up for grabs?
Well, yeah, if you can get to it.
I mean,
how deep is it under there?
I can get the boys together.
I'm putting together a team.
If it makes you feel better or worse, depending on your perspective, the USSR lost a bunch of their nukes when they went when they fell apart, and nobody knows where they are.
I figure the Iranians would have tried looking for them.
Oh, I'm sure I'm sure some third worlders found it.
I'm sure some of them did get other places.
I actually think that
I have a suspicion one place has a bunch of them.
I mean, if the North Koreans could build a fucking bomb, what the hell is Iran waiting for? I mean, they could have had one. They've been telling me that they're 5 days away from building a nuke since I was in 12th grade. And I'm 45.
So what they're doing is strategic ambiguity. They want to. They don't want to have the problem of having nukes because they're not Israel and therefore can't get away with it. But
Oh
they
yeah,
want to have the defense capability of them, so that's why they tell everybody, yeah, they can just have one tomorrow.
I think the
it's
solution
like
in the Middle East is that we give Iran a nuke. I actually think because then Iran and Israel have one, and like literally, I would sit down if I was the president and say, okay, because I could do this if I was the president because I didn't fuck kids on Epstein's Island. I could be like, hey, all right, look, Benjamin Netanyahu, what we're going to do here is you're either going to give up your nuke or I'm going to give one to Iran. And then you both have nukes. Like, we're going to balance this shit out one way or another. And let's not forget, I put it on screen. I was quiet because I was trying to figure out how to do these things. But this is what Vivek decided to shit on Christmas Day last year. And that's why he has no fucking career now. Oh, you watched Boy Meets World. You jacked off to Topanga, and now you're stupid. And that's why the Indians will take over America. And he decided to do that on Christmas.
What a moron.
I've
it's like
never seen someone destroy their career in such a short amount of time.
You watched Saved by the Bell, and that's why America will be Indian now. It's like, no, it's not gonna work.
It's like every time he says that he wants to turn Ohio into the Silicon Valley of the Midwest, it's like now you just know that's just code word for more H-1Bs, more Indians.
And he can't
I suddenly want him to disappear.
He posted a picture of his kid in like a Halloween costume on Halloween, and literally all the replies are, shouldn't that kid be studying?
You know what? I think I have an idea on how Vivek can turn it around. He should go to Springfield, Ohio, and just in a giant cat costume and just walk around some of the newer, more diverse neighborhoods late at night.
He should go run for governor of fucking Mumbai. How about that?
Yeah, he can. Since
bring America is just an idea.
Mumbai. Yeah.
Since America is just an idea, why don't you bring that great idea to India?
Indians they're the best workers in every field, in every industry across the entirety of the world. They just can't do it in India.
Well, probably because that country's covered in poop.
The Indian government has to pay people to use toilets.
Well, remember
it's the Rupee for Poopy program.
Rupee for Poopy.
I don't know what they call it, but that probably would work, yeah.
The fucking UN tried desperately to teach them to use toilets. It's like they made catchy songs about it. Like,
did they have like people sing and dance?
Yeah.
In the loo.
It's the top 5 catchiest song of all time. I just sing it constantly for like 10 years.
And they're like, nah. That's...
I don't know if there is a culture quite like them that just absolutely turns down the idea of a toilet. I'm pretty sure throughout the entirety of the third world, people still have the idea of a toilet. It's just they don't have very good ones. But India just like says, nah, we don't need those.
No, I could just poop wherever. Why would I?
I could just shit in the store, right?
I once saw this video of a guy. Apparently, it was an Indian up in Canada. It's either a Starbucks or a Tim Hortons, and he was just going right there, sitting there, scrolling on his damn iPad. It was just falling out of his shorts and everything.
Oh, I saw that. Oh,
that is so fucking nasty. I saw that.
Dude, how do you not want to just go Punisher on motherfuckers like that? Just like,
well, it's Canada, so you have to remember you have like not even a third of the testosterone or a fourth. It's probably closer to an eighth of the testosterone you have now. And the concept of violence causes you physical revulsion.
Oh, God. Like,
yeah, the only form you could aggression that you are allowed to legally exude in Canada is just yelling at America.
Yeah, you can't even yell at him. You have to blame us.
Literally at the Twizzler factory, where I happened to work at one point, and I say the Twizzler factory because it's the one in the world, they had hired so many fucking Indians that there had to be signs in the bathroom stalls telling you not to put your feet on the seat.
Oh,
Some
they
of
had
these
Indian
characters are pain in the ass.
subcontractors in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I always hated when they did that.
It's like we had to explain to you how to use a fucking toilet. It's like, why are you working here?
You know, strangely enough, we also had I remember being in Afghanistan, and we had they had KBR subcontractors, but normally they get them from like India, Sri Lanka, or Eastern Europe, whatever cheap hellhole they could find them. But this time they got them in from Kenya, and those were very intelligent, very polite people.
Well, those might have been actual Kenyans. I was thinking he was going to lead somewhere else.
Oh, the women look hot too. It's like, yeah, Kenyan women, you know, like get David Duke down for the swirl.
Jamaican women are very attractive too. You know, just very healthy and like very full of energy.
They're so hot they would get Nick Fuentes to actually consider putting his dick into a vagina.
No woman on earth is that hot.
No, you just have to drug him.
I think the most you could do is get Nick Fuentes to eat a vagina after another dude came in it. That's probably the closest to heterosexuality you could talk about doing.
Has Nick been more or less like kill all the gays lately?
I don't know, man. I can't
Because
stomach
he's
watching
clearly gay, but he's also like kill the gays.
I can't stomach watching him. Like literally, I see clips of him and I'm like, he is just so repulsive on a visceral level. Like every word out of his mouth, you just want to shove him in a fucking locker. I can't stand the guy for shit. And
Yes,
it's like,
he's a Zoomer. Yeah.
He's the ultimate Zoomer. He's the platonic ideal of the Zoomer.
The worst ones, yes, congealed into a single being.
He's actually the king Zoomer. If you kill him, all the other Zoomers die. They just
He's more like the
away.
Queen Zoomer.
Well, yeah.
He's kind of like the Zoomer equivalent of Howard Stern. Instead of bitching about the FCC, it's just, we got to do something about those pesky Jews.
The fucking Jews, am I right? The Jews are the reason my balls didn't drop. Can you imagine
Something about the
him
high
and Ben
voice.
Shapiro? Can you imagine him and Ben Shapiro having a debate? That would be hell. That is what hell sounds like. It's just when they both die, the rest of the people in hell will have to hear those two argue with each other for a trillion years.
You know, I always thought
Ben's trying to
that
get his
was
point
bad.
across, and he has to do an ad read in the middle of it.
Wait.
Yeah.
No, I think that all the guys should die. And it's like, well, I don't like vaginas. Well, I can't get a vagina wet.
so.
I can't get a vagina wet, but first let me tell you about Birch Gold.
Make it a three-way between him, Destiny, and Ben Shapiro.
Well, in that case, it would probably turn into an actual three-way. You wouldn't hear anything but just muffled sucking noises. Well, I'm going to wrap this up because we've been going on for about almost 2 hours. Good heavens. Thanks, everybody, for hopping in. I miss doing the panel shows. These are nice. I should have more guests on, try and round some people up. Because, I could never really do it that well in Streamlabs. That was the one downside to Streamlabs. You had to run basically a whole separate program to have guests on. All right. Well, folks, if you enjoy the content I put out, and I don't know why you would because it's dog shit, but if you do, streamlabs.com/thebacklaw, paypal.me/thebacklaw, and Amazon wishlist, all linked down below. That's about it for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Beckloff out.